the echo in the background is because this TV set is playing an image of what I'm here playing on the screen. And as you notice, I've got two cameras. I've got the... There we go. Now we're back. And we're live. I mean, I don't know whether or not that's a good thing or not, but we're certainly doing something. Anyway, I'm testing this capture device again because it was causing me some irritation, some problems for a while there, and so I had to go to the Logitech webcam, which was okay. I mean, it did a fine enough job for whatever it needed to be. It never shut off on me like the other one does, so maybe that's a good thing in a way. Anyway, what's going on? Well, what's going on is that if you see this footage, this is a test footage I'm going to put up. I'm going to probably attempt to put this in the template, maybe do something with it. Let's see. Lots of stuff going on. I mean, I've just recently done some stuff with my garage. Like everyone else in this country. With all the hot weather and that, it's all time for garage sales, barbecues, and whatnots. So I'm hoping, even though there might not be as much of me, I will make up with it by putting more content. I got 2 or 3 videos in the can already that I have to produce that I'll be putting out probably this week. Actually, probably put them out today or tomorrow, actually, now that I've got access to the basement again, because the young lad is gone to see the latest girlfriend. Let's just put it that way. I want to start a series off talking about the fact that most just how business, commerce, trade, how the economy system understand whether or not how to be a better consumer of the products that are out there. Because let's face it, there's a lot of products out there for us to consume, but not all these products are products that each of us will consume. And what in terms of capitalism, there's certain levels of capitalism we all participate in. We all participate in food. That's a basic one. We all do that, okay? We all buy a shelter, or most of us have some form of shelters in the Western world. We mostly rent shelters, most of us will. Some of us might partake into investing in either land or buying a shelter, and then we're all done, and build a house if we buy just land. But most of us tend to rent, and most of us tend to rent some sort of domicile based on our immediate need and circumstance. When we're younger, we're obviously living in our parents' shelter. Hopefully they bought theirs, we don't know. Maybe they didn't, maybe they did, who knows. Okay. We grow up in that, and then we move on our own, hopefully someday. Or, as we do mostly these days, live in our parents' house. Because, let's face it, the cost of living is so ridiculously expensive that most young people, unless they have a really good job, just can't afford to live elsewhere. Should have the ability for the young people in this country to grow, prosper, get a good job, choose to marry if they do want to, or at least choose. If they did decide to become involved with someone and have a relationship and eventually maybe have kids, that they can provide a stable home. What's happened to that dream? Where did it go? Where did the dream of ownership go? Where did it all go wrong? Where did it all go wrong for all the generations of people before, and the prosperity that were promised by many politicians, bounties of capitalism were going to provide us? Well, that's our questions that I think that we're going to have to answer, and maybe we can answer them together. So I'm going to be starting a series talking about the origins of how we got to this place, how capitalism basically came about, so to give you a little history of where we are, how our origins now. Then I'll go through a tour of some of the stages of that capitalism that's gone through, and then I'll talk more about the modern era. And then once I do that, I will start discussing some of the things that modern capitalism has brought in terms of opportunity. Deal for whatever reason. We don't always get the opportunity to participate in these opportunities like a lot of us should be able to. And unfortunately, because of that, it limits the opportunities for some that are designed specifically for a small group of people and not for the rest of us. But you know what? Those opportunities are available to all of us. we just have to make better choices. We may not be able to capitalize on to the massive extent that most wealthy people do, but you know what? Most of those wealthy people, at least in the early days of capitalism, were they had a dream, they had an idea, they had something going on in their lives, and because of that, they became wealthy and they created the wealth and jobs for many people. And now we're just the fruits of their labor, and many of the people that are in business now are either early investors then that pass down their wealth to their family members and they become wealthy from their money rather than their actual labor, or they're second and third generation of these original people that built these original enterprises that have become massive bohemians and multinational corporations through the rationalization and concatenation and mergers that happen. Used to is capital analysis that most of us only participate as investors, if we do participate at all, either directly or sometimes indirectly through our pension plans or retirement funds or whatever vehicle that the money managers have decided to invest to try and generate money for our present and future retirement for the ones that do happen to participate in the system of doing that. So, and how do we go wrong, and why are some of us so poor yet so little? So that's why I'm going to go through that and maybe give some strategies at that point to let people know things they can do. Even at this late in the game, I myself am one of those people. I've had opportunities to make money and invest a lot of times in my life, and I chose not to. And enough to myself to really know whether or not it was really good, bad, and the fact that some of the decisions I made were not always the best decisions, based on lack of information or risk, basically ignorance on my part. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up because I think it's going to probably pause out of me anyway. Hope to see you on my channel. Hope you had to go through this journey and let me know. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up, and if the video audio drops out for a second, I might have to do a voiceover to fix that. Hopefully not, because this thing is a new rig for me upstairs. I haven't done it for a while. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, participate. Tell your friends if you don't like something, tell me. info@endtimemedia.ca is my email address, or you can look at me on Facebook, My Two Loonies on Facebook, or you can check out the channel itself on YouTube, My Two Loonies on Facebook. Anyway, wraps it up for me. It's Mike, and it's My Two Loonies. Talk to you.